Since 1942 in the grand final, Claremont and West Perth. The ground filling up rapidly, around about 23,000 here, maybe a bit more at the moment, and I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get up around 28,000 at the start of this grand final in about 23 minutes from now. Jeff Gieschen, of course, understands what it means to all the West Perth supporters who've waited so long for this big day.
I think we all feel that sense of responsibility, and I have actually spoken to the players about that. I mean, as much as anything, we're playing for three people, or three groups of people this weekend. That is, I guess they've got to abide by the coach's instructions, they've got to play well for themselves, and they've got to play well for the teammates. And but apart from that, there's no doubt that we have all those people out there that we really want to repay for sticking by us over a lean period at the club, and we'll be giving them our very best.
The teams for both sides now. Claremont, as we expect, they haven't taken too many chances with this side. Possibly the strongest team they could select on paper. Glenn Simon's even coming back. He has been in doubt with a hamstring, but he's in there, listed to start off the interchange. That's problematical. But a very impressive goal-to-goal line, Noel. And of course that rock-solid defence. They're the hallmarks.
Yes, very solid. That half-back line is the definite plus for their side. Through their goal-to-goal line, as you said, very strong and also very flexible. And you know, if there's a weakness there, probably I think it's in the ruck. But then again, you know, both ruckmen last week, or in the last couple of weeks, haven't had a lot of influence on the game.
When you look at those placements there, Noel, it's quite clear that Claremont have had difficulty, in my opinion, fitting everyone into the team. You see Leach in a back pocket. I'm sure he would prefer to play him further up the ground. Morgan at full forward, Jerine in the pocket, Joe Smith on the half-forward line, Muir. I really do think they've just been... one of their problems has been this abundance of talent.
Well, it's not a bad problem to have.
Oh, it's a good problem, but you've got to get the balance right then, don't you?
The balance, and we've seen over the past few weeks how Smith and Morgan and Jerine have interchanged through the full forward, centre half forward position. So, I mean, they're used to doing those type of things.
Well, West Perth also have gone in with possibly their strongest lineup, although I don't think they'll swing any surprises. Jeff Gieschen's played his cards very close to his chest, but I think that'll be the team that they'll go in with.
Yeah, so there may be one or two smaller, minor adjustments. But I talked about Claremont's half-back line. I think that West Perth have a very strong half-back line. We know that their smaller players are quite dominant, but Mithka's done a great job, and I reckon Greg Jones has been a very underestimated player through the year. And we've seen Troy West come up the last couple of games and been very good across the half-back line and through the centre.
Now, Troy West could be a key player this afternoon, Noel. We saw him given a very important job last week on Rod Willett. Do you see a task for him this afternoon?
Well, he took on Kickett, and I thought he did a very good job in the second semi-final. I couldn't see any reason why they wouldn't go again, unless he opts for
which means he goes to half forward, yes, as opposed to half.
Well, they're feeling it right now.
They'd be very relieved just to hit the playing surface, and now a different emotion will be running through them. And before it's all in anticipation, now it'll be the realisation we are out on the ground. The crowds lift them up, and I know that I'm lifting up in the box here, because it's just one of those things that'll get through the banners, another obstacle, and now the players will start to settle down. And when they'll hear the crowd, and then for the next 5 or 6 minutes while they go through their warm-ups and they talk, they probably won't hear anything of the crowd at all. It's just one of those sort of things happen. You hit the surface, you hear the crowd, then everything goes blank because you start concentrating on the job ahead of you.
He's certainly concentrating, Jeff Gieschen, with him Gary Fisher, and we're about to see the Tigers. Here they are, the Claremont Tigers.
Listen to the boos. A mixed reception, which is a clear indication of how lopsided. Oh no, it doesn't matter. It's all part of the game, Fred. But it does give us a good idea of just where the majority of the crowd sympathies are going to lie. And we talked, as Noel indicated, we talked about the crowd factor, and I don't think it should be underestimated. We'll be taking an interest in it right around the state. No, the scene is set for a fantastic grand final, I suspect.
Well, let's go down now to the ground and find out about the atmosphere down there, as once again we say a very good afternoon from a little bit of a blurry-eyed Tanya Armstrong, who's just come back from the eastern states. Good afternoon, Tanya.
Good afternoon, Trevor. Yeah, I caught the midnight horror home, but I'm here. A slight northwesterly wind down here favouring the city end. Still not sure which way the teams are kicking because the toss was done on Friday. The sun was out the last half hour, but there's some dark clouds circling, so it could get a bit of rain. And a very big, healthy crowd, and Tigers are in hostile territory today, Trevor.
Yes, they certainly are. Tanya Armstrong will be our boundary rider again today. We'll have all the stats as the game progresses from Stacey here in our control box, high above the stand and looking out over a magnificent sight at Subiaco Oval. The final huddle the final little pep talk. Can they put it together? West Perth are going today. We'll soon know. Claremont will be doing their utmost to hold them out.
Yeah, but just one thing, the ground does look a picture of health now after all the comments that were made about it 3 or 4 weeks ago, and the staff should be commended on the way they've brought this ground up, and there's plenty of grass in most areas on the oval.
Joe
Smith, unfortunate, wasn't it, what happened that week? A shocking week of weather, and of course the ground staff came under a bit of fire.
Joe Smith and Brian Beresford coming off the ground for Claremont. They'll start on the bench, which is how the Claremont officials advised us it would start. Their team would start, so there doesn't seem to be too much of a hidden agenda as far as Claremont are concerned. Let's just see what happens as far as the Falcons are concerned. It looks like Downsborough is going off the ground, and Tuvey. Surprising, perhaps. Freeman's gone down to stand Jerine. Morgan's gone to full forward, and Nichols is picking him up.
Well, West Perth have got 3 going off.
Trevor Green is the other one. No, he's gone to the pocket.
Yeah.
Pulled up short, just inside the boundary line.
A little bit of cat and mouse there. Todd Curley, who's been a goal-kicking forward for West Perth this season, and a spectacular mark. And we're set to go here at Subiaco Oval.
Southern has Hall.
Grand final 1993 between West Perth and Claremont. Sam Cronje gets the game underway. Wolf and Nelson go at it. Even Stevens. Harris had it and got a high tackle. So the first free kick of the match going to the rover for West Perth, Darren Harris. Important player for the Falcons. Kicks to the half-forward line. From behind, it's Mifka, who looks as though he may have started in the forward line. Stars there. Gets a hand pass to Neil Midenhall. Mifka hooks it around his body into the pocket. Bounces over the head of Leach. Curley lost his footing. Lambourne can't arrive in.
Green drives Claremont over the centre line towards half-forward. Mitchell with a run of the ball. Muir opted out to provide the shepherd. Mitchell could have been interfered with. Play allowed to go on. Jones met solidly from all directions. Great tackling by Claremont. Unfortunate not to get the kick. Midenhall with a good hand pass. Mifka at half-back. And West Perth have players loose on centre wing. Away goes Lambourne.
Lambourne runs to half-forward. Kicks towards centre half forward. Good lead from Curley. He's away. He's outside 50. He goes for home with a big kick into the forward pocket. A great mark from Hall. 8 metres inside the boundary. It's off the side of the boot. Never looked like it. One behind.
Jerine does the ruck work. Freeman from behind him. Chance for Mitchell. Picks it up. Loses control. Clem doesn't. First goal of the game to the Tigers from the boot of Darren Clem. They're 1 goal straight. The Falcons 1.
Defensively, Southern goes right across the half-back line, ill-directed, and lands with Nelson, who plays on quickly. Too far for Harris, for West rather. Southern's there. Curley bumps him into him, and coming through is Henry. He drops the ball in the tackle. Coming through strongly now is Burns. Burns outside 50. Shows a bit of pace and hooks on goal. Good kick, just offline though, and 1 behind the.
Wolf gets it down in the direction of Malone, but it comes wider than that to O'Brien. His hand pass put it out in front of Lambourne and Harris. He couldn't control it, and Brayshaw cool in the crisis. Southern puts it in front of Gary Edwards. Storming down to meet it is Troy West. He's outnumbered 2-1, but he's done very well. In goes Edwards on top of him and gives away the kick. Well played, Troy West. He plays on quickly across to the members' wing when Nelson is unattended. Jones going past him. Wolf won't go to Nelson. That's good football by Wolf. Now he gives it to Jones. He's 55 metres from goal. Someone's got to close on him. Good kick from the centre half back. The first goal of the grand final for the Falcons. Greg Jones down from centre half back puts the Falcons in front by 2 points. Front of the old scoreboard, puts it down towards half forward. The kick was ill-directed, but it eluded both Burns and Henry. Good support from Gary Edwards. Panizza has it down towards half forward. Or danger here for West Perth. Malone was unattended. He's just ahead of the centre line as he kicks in towards Morgan. Terrific mark by Paul Morgan. 45 metres, perhaps slightly further out than that. Kicking to the city end. Very little breeze to speak of. It's a good kick from Morgan. Geez, a reliable.
Straight West Perth 1-2. 10 minutes into the first term. Clem and Lambourne. Glenn Simons is there. Slaps it to centre half forward. Jones in the way. Tackled by Muir. The kick travels towards the members' side of the ground. Scott Edwards, 100 games today. Hand pass over the top. Oh, Gary Edwards set up. Met by Damon, but the crumbs came to Green, who goes around his body, and Mitchell takes a good mark. Plays on quickly. A heap of Claremont players there just outside the square. Right angle, shouldn't have much trouble, and hasn't had any at all. Puts it straight through the middle. Now got the hand pass from O'Brien. The kick towards centre half forward. Trevor Green's in the pack. Brayshaw had the fist. Good pace here from Curley. Defensively, Midenhall, he'll use it. He chips it towards Harris. Courageous. Who knocks it away from Kickett. Hall, tackled by Southern. Loses it in the tackle. Should have been holding the ball. Harris is there with Kickett working it to the boundary. And that'll be a boundary throw. I'll contest this boundary throw in. It carries both of them. Danger here for West Perth. Nichols got it to Midenhall. He's caught. Delayed the hand pass. Bit lucky to get away with it, really. And Troy West brings it out of the danger zone. Chance for Harris on a collision course, but he's got a lot of courage. He got away there from Scott Edwards and did it again. Sold the dummy beautifully and passes to Mifka, who's marked 55 metres out. He wants to go. Nobody on the mark. He made 10 metres. The kick is not bad. And shepherding by Curley. Well done, Todd Curley. And attacking football by Paul Mifka brings up the second goal for West Perth.
Well, the interesting part for West Perth is both their goals have been scored by their half.
Recovers it for Claremont. This is Hendry. Hand wants it on the other side of the ground. He spears to centre half forward. Goes more directly. This is Green again. Brendan Green, and here's Morgan again. Claremont kicking to the goal at the city end. That is a much better kick. Terrific kick from Paul Morgan. That's his second. Claremont have their fourth. They're 4-3. West Perth are 2-2. Claremont just working the ball methodically around the outer side of the ground. They lead by 14 points. And here's Panizza now doing a Mifka. Running hard from that back line. Darryl Panizza. Fairest and best at Claremont last year. Kicks the ball inside 50 metres. Jarine gets his opponent under it, but went under it himself. Knocked on cleverly by Morgan to Muir, who gets rid of one tackler. This is Malone. In the square is Clem for number 3. Claremont at 5-4. West Perth at 2-2. And there are some Claremont support.
Looking for the handle. He's got it now and goes over the top to Paul Simmons. Upfield. Tuvey just on the ground. His first touch. Robbie West, a free kick was paid and the advantage. He's put down after he kicked it. I didn't see it, Noel, did you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was a fair decision.
It was a good decision.
It could have been a little bit. Thought he might have been a little bit.
Obviously, it was Wolf.
It was the Wolf. It's the Wolf.
And Nelson didn't. Now from 40 metres, and the drop punt is offline. So perhaps should have done better. He should have.
Hall has it, drives towards full forward and Hall, Leach at the back, Southern in front. Hall could have been paid the mark. No,
he's played the
paying a Southern the other way.
No.
Well, interesting.
Man in front.
Yeah, I would have thought so. Leach runs the ball out of defence. Finds Malone. They can go again to Scott Edwards on centre wing. Midenhall coming across to close on him. Edwards will take him on and gets around him. Wolf providing the run. They've got another player in the centre of the ground if they want it. Midenhall is being turned inside out as Scott Edwards kicks towards 50 metres and Green. Good kick. Green can't recover his footing. Oh, yes, he can. Well played. Well played also by Damon. Knocked on by Green. Clem thought he had to provide the shepherd. In goes Clem again. Lambourne is there and Damon's with him. This is Midenhall. West Perth will get out of trouble. The kick up the ground. Silly football, Jarine.
Better effort by West Perth defenders there.
Relayed free kick and now they're allowed to play on. And that will be a free kick. Claremont just losing it a little bit here. They've given away 2 or 3 silly kicks. And Harris was taken around the face as he tried to avoid the tackle. It's quarter time in the grand final. Claremont are 5-4, 34. West Perth are 2-3, 50.
The forward line has finished it off in company with Morgan. Mifka and Jones, incredibly, the 2 goal scorers for West Perth.
We start the second term of the 1993 grand final. Claremont with a 19-point lead, but West Perth in this term with the aid of the breeze. As the bounce of the ball favours Nelson, but he knocks it straight to Kickett. Kickett off the wrong foot, makes a real hash of that kick, but Simons comes across to give a contest against Jones, and the ball is forced out of possession and gets it to Malone. That was well done. In towards half forward, and Mitchell takes the ball on his chest and hit it.
Last week this would have been a Monty from there with that.
Well, it'll take a good kick, and this is where Greg Jones kicked West Perth's first goal from, but he was on the run. Well, that's not a bad effort. Oh, what a terrific kick by Kevin Mitchell. A highly skilled.
Southern's in the way though, tackled by Hall, loses it in the tackle. Now Robbie West from outside centre half forward. He goes long, prodigious kick West.
Oh, well done.
And well done, right on the goal line there by Leach. And now kicked through by Green, but it already touched.
Right half forward for the Falcons. Wolf gets front position. Neither ruckman getting it away clearly. This is Mark Hand. He's run off the ball by O'Brien, who hooks on goal. Great goal! I'll tell you what, Leach was unlucky not to get a free kick. He was held in the square, but the goal will stand. Now, there aren't quite the number of options this time. That's a poor kick. Robbie West intercepts and will punish Claremont. Goes on goal. But he's offline. Gee, West Perth have had a couple of opportunities.
Perth trailing by 19 points. Tuvi's kick lacks a bit of depth. Player goes to the ground in Curley. He'll get the free kick. Todd Curley. Got a push there from Kickett. To centre half forward. West Perth player had the sit. At the back it's Burns. He lines up. And I think he's kicked it. Ronnie Burns has put one through from 25 metres out. Mifka was up. Burns got the crumbs and made no mistake.
Full forward, the snap on goal is a beauty from Green. Brendan Green kicks Claremont 7th. They're 7-7, West Perth are 4-6. The margin is 19 points as it was at quarter.
By Malone, bounce, kick it, loses it to West, who escapes. Now Midenhall, the Sandover medalist, goes for home. No, he doesn't. He avoids the tackle of Scott Edwards, then he goes for home. He's offline though, bringing it to the front of the pack with Simmons and squirted out now by Leach towards Southern. He's caught, loses it, and it's...
Has it. He gets the hand pass through the pack to Starr. Starr in towards full forward. Oh, Leach went miles too early. Simmons has it now for West Perth. Feeds the hand pass in towards Starr. Kick it closing on him. Starr gets around one tackle. Goes towards goal. Curley up. Off hands and it's still in play in the square. Knocked towards the goal line beyond Robbie West. And a behind results. Well, a hectic passage of play. Claremont under immense pressure there. Claremont is 7-7. West Perth are 4-8. The margin is 17 points. Dangerous kick in. Leach needs to touch it and will. In fact, chose to keep it in play. Gee, got through Midenhall's tackle pretty easily. And now Claremont are away.
Look at this.
Two players running with Hand as he tries to draw one. Gets it infield to Kickett, who's down from half back. Took too long. Recovers the ball cleverly and then gets around O'Brien. Looks towards full forward because Malone shepherding. Drives towards the goal line. Smith in front. Good. Smith from 20 metres out. Tough angle. Good kick. Very good kick from Joe Smith.
Holding the ball to cry, not paid by the umpire. Vanessa, Wolf.
They got any boots on these guys?
Edwards, kicks towards full forward, Smith and Freeman, but the whistle has sounded.
Free kick down the ground.
It was the same situation as the previous one.
So Smith now from 30 metres. Drop punt on the way, looks okay. So he's kicked the last 2 goals for
Claremont. Is just ahead of the centre line for West Perth. Kicks towards full forward. Big pack up. A lot of Claremont players in it and they'll concede a goal as a result. Mifka gets one back for the Falcons. 9-7 to 5-8. And Mifka has 2 of the 5. And he was a long way down the ground then. I don't know whether he's been moved to the forward line or whether he's kicked another from the half.
Smith brings it down for Glenn Simons, who's caught and throws it away towards Muir. Muir's kicked to the top of the squares of beauty. Freeman and Morgan.
Oh, Morgan. Mark.
He's paid Morgan's mark. Drop punt is close.
Early onto a wing, Trev.
Umpire Cronje. We get this second half underway here at Subiaco Oval. Big roar goes up from the crowd. Nelson wins the tap and again the second time knocks it towards half forward, but Kickett does it well. Break through 2 tackles and got it to Malone. He sells it away towards Mitchell. From centre half forward, the kick towards the square. Clem from the side, Damon the spoiler. Knocks it to his own advantage. And a good drilling hand pass upfield to Robbie West. So West Perth make about 55 metres there. And West kicks to half forward and Hall marks. Again a late tackle from Scott Edwards. The kick into the pocket here. And knocked away brilliantly from O'Brien by Darryl Pinnis.
Back in is intended for Jerine, but he never got into the contest. Hall unfortunate not to be rewarded with a kick. Tuvey in all sorts of trouble. Malone over the ball or over the top of the ball. Tuvey has it again, back towards the goal square. Good kick. Almost a mark to Brayshaw and Leach will force it onto the post. So some desperate defence there from the Claremont back line. It's been their strength all year, and it's been very good so far in this grand. Very good mark taken by Nichols. Jones down from half-back, trying to drive something or set something up for the Falcons. Simmons in front, Hall at the back, good mark. And as I said a moment ago, very little breeze to speak of. He's pulled it left, but it's all right. He's got it through, so where there's life, there's hope. West Perth get the first goal of the third quarter, and I think that's important.
Well, it is important, but it's taken 10 minutes for either side to score. There's been a lot of toing and...
Two.
Starr
coming across to meet him is Hand. Starr did well. He did best. O'Brien makes a good lead. It won't quite carry. Oh, it did.
Good mark.
It was a good mark. It was a good kick too.
Courageous mark.
So O'Brien with the ball, and West Perth starting to look threatening. It's intended for Starr. It's just a case of whether or not they can get close enough. He's miskicked it, and Leach is in front of the pack. Well, that could have been dangerous for Claremont. Downsborough on the mark.
Every time West Perth go to put a couple of goals together or put a couple of good play systems of play together, they let it down with poor disposal.
That's a beautiful kick. It was intended for Gary Edwards, who was claimed from behind by Nelson. He gets rid of the ball in the nick of time, and Brayshaw puts it over the line. Clem did, in fact. Forward Green contests with Hall. It comes down to Burns.
Missed.
So another opportunity goes begging, but the young fellow did pretty well. He's working in a very confined space. Mark Brayshaw, premiership player with this club, but they've got a lot of work to do yet. The short kick in is a good one. Gary Edwards.
Gee, the pressure must be on with those kicks, Noel.
Oh yeah, but they practice, as I said before, they practice it so well, Claremont, and they're confident enough to go for those sort of passes.
Oh, short kick, and it's found Clem. Gee, there's very little room for error though. That's a good kick. Malone gets it on quickly to Mitchell. Midenhall is closing. Mitchell delayed the kick. Freeman in front, destroys towards the boundary line. Well played, Peter Freeman. Now Hall with a very important kick. West Perth have had chances to get closer, and they've wasted them to date. That's a good kick. Wrong side of the post. It was difficult to tell from here. The crowd behind the kick thought it was okay, but then I wouldn't rely on their objectivity.
A lot of red and blue scarves in there.
Absolutely.
A lot of wishing involved there.
Yeah, I think so. Wishing and hoping. Who was the lady that sang that?
Dusty Springfield.
That's right. Yeah, you'd remember that, Wal. Mustn't call you, Wal. Pam Casellas might be listening. There's the kick. Knocked away by O'Brien. Malone, Hand. It was a hot one. And he's caught by O'Brien again. And it forced the error from Mark Hand. Hasn't had a great day.
Gerine off for Claremont and Beresford on.
22 points the difference. Nelson in front of Wolf. Midenhall raving the pack, runs into a big brick wall and got a high tackle. The old 1-2 in action, and Darren O'Brien escapes and pulls it towards half forward. Southern got a Hall out of the way. At the back, Robbie West. He's underneath the pack. Hall found some room. In front, Curley. Curley goes back and scores a goal. 16 points the difference now. West Perth have had a marvellous quarter, really. Claremont hasn't scored a goal in 23 minutes.
And they will be quick to bring the ball back into play in the hope of getting another one. It's with Freeman at full back. Kicks it in short. Didn't carry it.
No.
He's holding the ball. Oh, heavens above. Simmons has it. Now Freeman. Freeman's cornered. Gets out of trouble and can get it to Mifka. The kick is a good one. Mifka takes it just inside the defensive 50-metre line. He looks up towards centre wing. Malone is in front. Jones over the top. Green at ground level. Trying to get it through to someone. Hand has it. Hand looks towards the half-forward line. Well, ill-directed kick, and Nichols marks.
Thank you, Karen. Welcome, everyone, to the grand final. We're in time on in the third quarter, and Claremont lead 10-10-70 to West Perth 7-11-53. West Perth have played a great third term, and so far Claremont hasn't scored a goal in this quarter. West Perth have added 2. And you see Derek Hall now with a good mark in front of Brayshaw as the siren sounds for three-quarter time. Claremont have held control in this match for most of the game. They led by 19 at quarter time and 29 at half time, but the Falcons have pegged them back. This would be a telling goal if they can put it on the board. It's not a bad kick, but it swings away. Hits the post, I think. One behind. Might have just grazed the post there. A point right on the siren, or after the siren, by Derek Hall. We'll be staying on after the game concludes with the Simpson Medal presentation and the medallion presentation and the lap of honour. The last quarter of 1993 gets underway. It's Claremont by 16 points in the grand final, and Burns lays it off to Midenhall. West Perth into attack. Hendry's there, and he takes a strong mark, opposed by Darren O'Brien.
So Hendry, about 40 metres out from the goal he's defending. First goal will be pretty important here because it would give Claremont a good break, and it would put West Perth well and truly in the game if they were to get it, as Robbie West soccers it down towards the half-forward line. Hall goes long, back towards the half-forward line. Bounce of the ball favours Hall. Hendry's with him. Burns has it, and he's got support in the form of O'Brien, but he goes on goal and he's missed.
Claremont haven't kicked a goal for 40 minutes in this match, but still lead. And a free kick here to Nelson. "16 points the difference." Tuvey from the half-back line kicks towards the wing, and Brendan Hendry slides into it, can't mark. Edwards was caught, goes back over his head. Brayshaw and O'Brien get tangled up. O'Brien goes to the ground. Burrowing in there is Malone, but Harris finishes up with it. Drives along the boundary to Hall.
Look at Green.
Now West Perth can move.
Two on to one.
It's Green from the side, and at the back Curley. Green! Spectacular mark. Drop punt. He's kicked the goal. Margin is 10 points now. Crowd erupt here.
Well, how often do you see it, Trevor, where that one side is dominated in their forward line for 5 or 6, even 8 minutes, and then the ball's turned over, gone into the West Perth forward line, and then they kick a goal straight away. And that always happens. You can bet your boots on it. That's the type of situation. And here, Quentin Leach had no hope of marking 2 players. One Claremont defender had obviously gone missing, and Green was able to chip in there, take a very good mark and kick a very telling goal. Hasn't had a lot of touches all day.
The last close grand final was 1985 when East Fremantle beat Subiaco by 5 points, and I'm pretty sure, Walter, this is going to go pretty close to that margin.
Yes, it's going to be a close game. 10 points the margin at the moment, and it would be a major concern to Jared Neesham that he's not able to kick goals.
There's cousin Freddie.
Bounce down, back in the centre. West Perth chipping away. The crowd starting to get involved. Wolf goes up, but it's taken by Midenhall, who's grabbed around the ears. He has a habit of ducking his head when he's tackled.
He did then too.
And he gets away with it. The kick goes to the half-forward line. Kick it up in front. Burns at ground level. Trevor Green wants it again. I think I'd go looking for him, and they have. Spoiled from behind by Brayshaw. This is Hendry. Gets it to Panizza. Panizza will go short in the direction of kick it, and it only just gets to him. Malone is loose if he can get it to him. He has. Harris closing on him.
Good spoil.
Good spoil. He did it without interfering. Hand pass infielders to Hand, who's going up and down on the spot. Finds a little bit extra and puts it to the half-forward line, and Morgan takes a good mark. Oh, he took Muir out with him.
He took it out of Muir's hands.
And Muir is limping as he goes away from the scene. Wolf is off. Green is back on.
Heavy collision there.
Morgan goes towards full forward. It will land in the square. Jarine at the back. Mitchell runs onto the ball. Can he control it? They're coming at him from all directions. His kick is brilliantly smothered. Inspirational stuff by Peter Freeman. And perhaps that could be the turning point of this grand final. Although his kick has gone straight to a Claremont player in Scott Edwards. Not favoured by the bounce, but he can recover. He gets around the oncoming player and gives it to Panizza. Panizza looks towards half forward. They're messing around Claremont. They've lost their confidence. He goes towards the centre square. This is Malone. Malone's kick is towards full forward. Morgan in front. Freeman from behind. Beresford onto the ball. It's knocked on towards Muir, and Gironi kicks the goal. Well, did Claremont make hard?
There's Malone loose again.
Kick it goes short, and Robbie Malone has worked tirelessly. Claremont are fiddling in the defence here. He's gone back to kick it, which is very negative. What happened with Edwards?
Well, Starr's given him a good one to the midriff.
Did he? I didn't see that. Burns collected by Clem, and the ball collected by hand. Kick it. Gary Edwards could get sandwiched. He's caught. Got it away to Clem. Sweep it now to Hendry. Kick it's gone up the ground. This will be inspirational. He always does something very clever. Long kick. Freeman's there. Carries him. He's kicked the goal. Kickett's kicked the beauty.
I think that's called taking matters into your own hand, isn't it?
Yeah, well, he's just the sort of player that can do it.
Well, how many times throughout the season when we've been calling Claremont, we said they hold onto the ball, they'll work it backwards, they go sideways, they'll kick it over in the grandstand until they can get a good possession and then go forward. And that's exactly what they did. And hasn't this fella got some confidence?
Europe will see them through to the final siren as the kick goes towards centre wing. Malone is on his own. He steadies and props down in the direction of Mitchell, who got Mifka under the ball, and the ball sat beautifully for him. He could have gone to Morgan. In fact, maybe he did. Oh, Gerone's taken the mark at the top. It's an ironical game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, let's see what West Perth can muster from here, because they still have time. We're not quite at the 20-minute mark of this final. Last time we'll see these famous colours playing in the name of West Perth, Trevor.
Yes, Joondalup Falcons, but I think I might still call them West Perth.
I think a lot of people will have trouble not doing that.
I'm still calling them Cardies. There it is! Claremont have won the grand final, 13-14-92. The West Perth 8-14-62. Nisha Moore smiles. His players have done it for him again. He's a master coach, a master tactician. He had the players at his disposal, and they've also come from nowhere, battling out for the wooden spoon with West Perth last year, and now top of the Wazza again in 1993, and it's a very happy bunch of...
Thought as the game went on, players like Wade Starr and the lesser lights of West